Hello everyone, my name is Protesilaos, also known as Prot. In this video I will talk to you about my new package for GNU Emacs. This one is called Buffer to PDF. What it does is it takes your current buffer, the contents of your current buffer, and outputs them to a PDF. Exactly what you see is what you will get. In other words, it will retain the font size and it will retain your current theme. Let's see this in practice. The idea is simple, but there are different scenarios we want to consider. So there are different methods effectively for how to get a PDF, specifically how to delimit pages. Let's start with what will probably be the most common use case, I think, which is to have an org file. In an org file, you will want every heading to be its own slide. So you can do a presentation this way. Perhaps you are an academic, you have a class, and you want to have something that you write in org mode, but very easily get a PDF out of it without going through LaTeX and that kind of technology. So every heading will be its own slide, and then the text before the first heading will also be its own slide. Let's see this in action. Emacs buffer to PDF. And it will ask me now for an orientation. How should the slides look? And there are these options that I have implemented: a landscape orientation, a portrait orientation, as well as an orientation that is based on the dimensions of the current window, meaning the current width and height of the window. So let's just do landscape, and of course you can experiment with the others at your own pace. So I will do that. It has to do some work in the background. And now at the bottom of my screen, I see that it is telling me exported 4 pages, and it is pointing to the file that it has written. So now I will do mxdred, and I will do a small little trick that is independent of this package. When you use the dred command, you can pass a wildcard, such as what I'm doing here, asterisk PDF, which means show me this directory with only those files. And doing so means that I don't have to share with you my entire home directory. So from here, I will open the PDF externally just for us to be sure. So I will do that. And you see here, this is page 1 out of 4. And you can get the idea of what we have. I will actually toggle the preview of the picture so we can see the picture as well. And you see how it is, right? So we have the slideshow just like that, ready to go. What you see is exactly what you get. And actually, the resolution is very nice indeed. You can see how it is over here if I zoom to the maximum position that I can zoom over here. Let me delete this. Oh, actually, we can use it again, but okay, let's delete this. Let's go back to here where I am. Let's enable the picture now and see, just for completeness, let's do it like this. So I will now do the buffer to PDF. Landscape, let's do landscape. It will do the work it has to do. And let me now just disable the preview. And let's go here again, open externally. And where are we here? We have the picture as well. And fit to the page, we see how it is. You get the idea. I don't need to belabor this point. I think this is fantastic. It won't be the perfect presentation that you do if you want to really impress everyone. But I think this is something that is very easy to produce. You see what I am doing over here. This is just a generic Emacs org file, a generic Emacs buffer here. You can see how it is. And you can make it better if you want, folks. Like, for example, in this test, I am activating the org num mode so that it automatically adds numbers to the headings. This I didn't write myself. These are virtual numbers, okay? And what you see is what you get. If you hide the emphasis markers in org, you will see bold, you will see slanted text. This is the idea. You can also do more things, such as to enable org modern and maybe other things. I will switch to a dark theme just to show you that. Let's switch to, okay, this one, the first one that I noticed. Let's do this now, just so that we confirm that the PDF will indeed look the way we expect it to look. So let me have this here. You can see that now the PDF is a dark theme. Of course, you probably don't want to have a PDF that is a dark theme and go print that. That will be a waste of ink, but at least the point stands, okay? So let me switch back to a light theme here. I don't remember which one I had. So let's go back to our test here. And let's see the other tests as well. The idea is the same, but what changes is how the pages are done. So in this scenario over here, I have an ordinary Emacs Lisp file. There is nothing fancy about it whatsoever, okay? And what I will do here is I will export again. And now the way it will export, it will be based on the outline regex. So major modes will define this themselves. You can, of course, define it if you want differently. So you can have your own outline regex, which means what counts as a heading in the current buffer. For our purposes here, what counts as a heading is each definition. So we have a defun and a def var. So we should get 2 pages out of this. Let's see. Of course, there is a chance that I have made some typo or some bug, but it says exported 2 pages to this test file. And let's go and put that to the test. And indeed, we see one function is its own page, and then another variable here is its own page as well. So this looks very promising, folks. Let's go and check now the third scenario. In this case, what I have is the literal page delimiter, which you input with Control Q, Control L. This is not caret L, right? This is the literal control character represented there. So here, each Control L demarcates a page. So we have a page above, a page in the middle, and a page below. Let's see this in action again. So again, landscape. I don't need to test every scenario, folks. You get the idea. And let's present it. Okay, there is a small bug here, but I can fix this. The Control L should be hidden. It shouldn't be visible, but this is a small thing. I will fix it. And anyway, this is not, I think, the best way to use a presentation, because you will be creating these just for the sake of the export. So maybe it doesn't feel natural, but it's a small bug. I will fix it. In this final test, what I have is just a buffer, just a wall of text that has no outline, it has no pages, it is not org mode. So in this scenario, what we should do is we should delimit each page where the window ends. So I will just do here buffer to PDF. Again, same idea. And now I want, oh, not here. Okay, I did it right, but I don't want to open that in Emacs actually. So I want to go here and let's open it externally. Oh no, I opened the previous one. Sorry, this is the one I want to open. So I see again there is a small bug where it clips the final line, and this is a known issue. I'm not sure why it does that. So I would need to tweak a little bit the dimensions, but you get the idea. This looks very promising. So whatever small issues like this are trivial to fix, I would say, and probably I will do it by the time I publish this video. The point is that this is a nice little package, folks. It's not a replacement for doing some elaborate export to a PDF. It is not meant to do that. Consider this kind of a screen capture. So it's a screenshot of your buffer, of all the contents of your buffer, and then it goes into one PDF file. In conclusion, I just want to say that The underlying function, like the core function that does this, is called X export frames, I think, X export frames over here, okay? And this can only be used if Emacs is built with support for Cairo. So you have to make sure that in your system configuration options, you have Cairo and the system configuration features, right? So it lists Cairo there. If it doesn't, then it won't work. Okay. And I just want to thank Amin Bandali, who brought the export frames to my attention. I am thankful to Amin for that. And I include also a link to Amin's website. There will be a README. I will include the link to the Git repository from where you can read more about this, and you can also get the package configuration to install the package and try it yourself. This is all for today, folks. Thank you very much for your attention. And of course, there is a backronym as always. You can uh, learn about this yourself. I do it for all my packages. So take care, folks, and goodbye for now.